think Disney did a movie about that where everybody was fat. They was living on this floating machine. Wall-E.
Okay, yeah, they ruined the earth and they all just, they went up in it and it was like
doing the same thing. They just became fat.
They got lazy.
Yeah, on these machines, pressing buttons and stuff like that.
One robot fixing the world and nobody cares because they're so comfortable in their apparently uncomfortable position of we don't have any planet. But they're still comfortable because why? Companies or government or whatever in that movie was the acting force on why that was a thing. They allowed people to just sit and be lazy. They said, don't think, just, let us do that for you. And it's a dangerous thing to give people your ability to think.
Yeah.
Because if you have nothing, you have how you think. Nobody can take that away from you. They can shift it or influence you in ways where you can give it up.
Yeah, that's
where
correct.
you can change how you feel, but nobody can go into reach, I can grab your arm. I can't just go in your mind and grab your mind. You have to be more sadistic about it. It's not something that you can just give up easily. It takes time. So this subliminal message, this selective or this predictive programming that we're all undergoing, mass psychosis, all this stuff takes time to do.
Yeah.
Because the mind, it's just like the body. The body's going to repair itself. The mind's going to repair itself. But what happens when you're smoking every day? The body has trouble repairing itself.
Yeah.
What happens when you're filling your mind with gunk every day? The mind has trouble repairing itself. Mind and body are two halves, right?
Yeah.
And so we need to, if we say our mind is a temple, our body is a temple, basically for our mind, really, then what is a temple? What is the purpose of a temple? It's to protect you from what's out there, right? Original definition. Temple is like a protection. From what?
And definitely the stuff that they're putting, so they're putting stuff in the air, they're putting stuff in the water, they're putting stuff in the food in order to control us, to keep us in a sedative state. That's where they want a sedative state. So once we become like thinkers and people who want to be enlightened, they don't really like it.
It's harder. It's children, right? Yeah. It's you have 50 children, and I'm sure most parents would prefer them sleeping. When you start waking up and they run around, you have to, oh no, don't do that, don't do that. It's hard to watch them. Right now, the world is in a state of sleep, right? So people are slowly waking up, but the parents, the government, the whatever entity is over this dominion,
yes,
they want as many people asleep. It's easier to control a sleeping person. You whisper in their ear long enough and they'll start to believe it when they do wake up.
Because the subconscious is always listening. It never sleeps, always listening.
We are beings that don't need sleep. This body needs sleep. And that's what you said, that subconscious doesn't need sleep. So it's going to pick up on that. Well, you know what? You're not that great message playing in your ear over and over. Well, look what black people do. Well, look at this, whatever subliminal message you ascribe to. Black people can't build roads. A woman told me that yesterday. But she didn't say she believed it. She said for a long time she looked at things like buildings and skyscrapers and roads and said, how can we do this? Not realizing that we did do that many times. Even here, you ask many people in Tanzania and other African countries, I think this is universal for Africa, and with our people in general, actually no, forget that, I'm going to give you an example. I had a man, and I think I told you this example, but now I'll say it again. I had a man tell me, I was in Arusha, and we were sitting there, I was eating, and I didn't know this guy, but, we started talking. Yeah. And he was like, where would we be without Europe and China and all these other developed nations? I said, where would you be? And he's like, we wouldn't have anything. Airplanes and stuff. I said, no, you have to create it yourself. There's you don't have it, so you eventually have to evolve and adapt to do it. If nobody came and gave you an airplane and took your resources to build it and took your, income to fund it, you'd have to build it yourself. Eventually you would say, we need this. They say, we need this. Okay, good. When nobody comes and gives it to you, you have to figure out how to do it yourself. Someone's going to get very wealthy doing that. It's easier to just head, okay, you know what, we don't want them to go higher, let's give it to them. It's going to make us lazy and it's going to make us complacent with them. We see them as gods. Unfortunately, a lot of people here, you've seen it, this inferiority complex, white is right. White is always better. White knows more. White gets served first. This is a concept that's all subconscious. A lot of people don't know why they're, gravitating towards the white man before their brothers and sisters. They think, okay, this guy's going to give me success. Because a lot of people honestly haven't seen a successful black person, right? So when you see people saying, wow, I just want to go to America, I wish I had this person's hair, or I wish I looked like her, or I wish I, had his success, or I wish I was like a white man. People say that, I wish I was a white man. Imagine somebody who looks like you saying that here in Africa, here in Tanzania, and I've heard it on multiple occasions.
Shows the level of depravity of the mind.
Yeah.
For you to think that way, that you are not able to rise up as another, you don't see yourself as equal.
Imagine.
Or more.
They didn't have to tell you that you weren't equal. You said it.
You just believe it, it's already inside.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
That programming needs to get out of us because it's holding us down. We're holding ourselves down in some ways. We can't blame ourselves per se for our thinking.
Self-imposed limiting beliefs.
Yeah, because that is a result of something else. We are like this, our community is like this because of how we were treated, and you name the list goes on. But at the end of the day, now that we can stand back a little and recognize it, we have a responsibility to stop this behavior. We need to take control of our destiny, of our path, of our future economic situation, and we need to put ourselves first. As selfish as that sounds, you don't hear, or at least not often, you don't hear other races making fun of their culture. And I don't know how this is in the UK, but when I was in school, in high school, in elementary school, and middle school, even in elementary school, right? You hear black children primarily making fun of Africa. Man, and it's very common. Adults do it. Adults, I remember even, I won't say who, because, actually no, I will. I had, no, I won't say, they won't know. But I've had, and in fact, I think a lot of people watching this who happen to be, African descendants, they can say they come across people that look like us, and we tend to make fun of Africans the most. Booty scratchers, ooh, they're starving, and you must be I remember the joke in my school was, you must be an Ethiopian kid because you look like you're starving.
Yeah.
Why are you so skinny?
Yeah.
Get a sandwich, man. This is black people. You don't hear the Chinese kids saying, wow, you must be from, China because da-da-da-da-da-da. No, they say only good things about it because one, their parents come from there, or at least they have a connection to their roots in a way that puts respect in the eyes of that child. We don't have that roots connection. And because we lack that, our parents don't push it as a respectful thing. In fact, they'll join you and say, yeah, those African booty scratchers, that's not us. We're just like the white man. That's what they're really saying. Because if you are not a part of the culture that you belong to, what are you doing? Who are you? You're part of another culture. One, you lose the respect of the culture you belong to, and two, you lose the respect of the culture you're trying to be like. Because they see you like, oh, you won't even respect your culture. What makes you think we think you're going to respect ours? And two, the culture you came from said, well, you didn't even want to be a part of our culture. You're trying to be like them. So you don't have the respect of either. And this is the situation we have. Africans are not respected globally. When you have presidents saying, openly saying, yes, we killed this leader, and this isn't speculation, this isn't conspiracy, this is cold hard facts. On many occasions, yeah, we got rid of this leader, knowing that nothing's going to happen to them. No one's going to challenge them from Africa. If anything, they're going to praise them. Well, you know what? That logic makes sense. It doesn't work the other way, though. When are Africans and African Americans, African diaspora, Africans in general, going to stand up for themselves and say, wait, you don't know how to respect us, let us show you. Until we learn to respect ourselves, nobody else will.
Well, the change is going to come, and it's got to start with us, the few of us that are becoming more enlightened, the few of us that believe that there's a positive future for all of us to come together, those that realize how history that has been hidden from us, that we are technology, that we are science, that we are innovation, And a lot of the things that we subscribe to other cultures, it's actually us. Like we were talking about the library at Alexandria.
Yes.
The
Where was
li-
that at?
That was in Kemet, which is, they call it Egypt now.
Yeah. In movies, how do they show Egyptians in movies? They're not African. They look Latin American or Persian or something like. They don't look African. They won't show them with the kinky hair. They will not. When you see Cleopatra, and this just doesn't even make sense, despite knowing that Egypt is in Africa. Those producers, for the sake of appealing to a more relatable audience, because that's what it comes down to.
And they also know whatever people see on movie, they think that's real.
Yeah.
Moses, Jesus.
Cleopatra is bone white. In many movies, she is a bone white woman. There's nothing wrong with that, but there is something wrong with inaccuracy. This is not accurate. Historically speaking, this is not accurate. But when it comes down